In July of 2020, Sony released Ghost of Tsushima, a PlayStation exclusive with amazing graphics, satisfying combat, and a fantastic story-based game for people to play while we were cooped up in our houses for the next year or so. Fast forward to mid-2022, Figma released a Jin Sakai action figure, the main character, to the public, and ever since I saw it, I wanted it. I got it for Christmas, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do as soon as I got the chance. So now in June of 2023, I finally got that chance. In the game, there is something called standoffs, where if you approach an enemy slowly, you can duel with one of them to get some kind of upper hand. So if I do that, that'd be an easy short fight scene to do with not a lot of movement. So I got to work, and as short as this was, I had a lot of frustrations. There was just some shots I needed to keep redoing, like this one, over and over, because I just could not figure out how to structure it, but I'll get to that later. Since I'm using green screens more often now, I get to make new shots I've never done before. For the first day on June 5th, I started with a random shot of this Overwatch Genji figure with the Jin Sakai figure just so I could see them together. Fast forward a few days, I nearly immediately swapped out Genji for this more visually appropriate figure for the scene, and I started to get a sense of direction for this video. I wanted to do something different and take advantage of these separate layers I will have because of the green screen, so I made shots like this, which in my head are kind of reminiscent of anime, even though I don't watch anime, but I thought it looked cool anyway. Now, for the first and main death scene, though I wanted to simulate the standoff kill scenes in the game, I wanted to make something different, so I decided to experiment a little bit more. Now, this is where I got kind of frustrated here because I started off doing a basic kill scene like from the game, all in animation, but I couldn't replicate the slow motion effectively enough. This shot just ended up being two still images of the figures kind of just moving with keyframes rather than a full animation that I made. This is kind of a lesson that sometimes less is more, but you know, it's all good. I like how it turned out better here, but you know, like I said, less is more sometimes. I also messed around with the background itself, making it flash white as a kind of transition, and I also used one of my failed clips to go into that transition, so it wasn't a complete L. I both kind of stuck to the anime type style I was going for and was able to use an old shot. And after this, it was a pretty smooth way through the video. I just had to come up with more ways to kill the enemies, so I messed around with the perspectives more, and then for the last one, I once again struggled with the first crawling animation. I wanted to go ahead and make a cohesive loop for this guy crawling on the floor, and the first one I made was not that good, so I redid it the next day. In the end scene, I settled with Jin walking over and executing the guy just like how it happens in the game after some fights. You can just press one button and he does nearly the exact same motion that I animated here. So yeah, I just wanted to show my little like struggles here because I am learning green screen. I have been starting to use it more and more often, and I have been enjoying it, though there are things that I need to figure out for myself. But like I said, it's all a big learning experience. Like here, I learned less is more with the green screen and stuff. So this is all just big practice for, you know, future videos. But for this video, part of the learning experience was the figures. I've never really animated with anything other than a Marvel Legend really, so using a Figma for the first time was definitely a different experience. These figures are more fragile and they're definitely smaller, so it's harder than usual, but you know, it's part of the fun. Like I said, all one big learning experience.